So what are we going to work on today?
Hello. I have a draft.
Okay.
It's a first draft. I wrote this for my class, and I have to turn it into my instructor. So
Okay.
I'd
All right.
like to get some help.
Okay. All right. So what specifically did you want to work on?
Just things like grammar, vocabulary, verbs. I want it to sound natural for my instructor.
Okay. All right. When is it due?
It is due on Monday.
On Monday. Okay. So it's Thursday. That's good. You've got lots of time. So is this going to be a finished paper or a rough draft, or when you turn it into your instructor, what is your instructor expecting?
It's a first draft.
A first draft. Okay. All right.
But my instructor needs to be able to read it.
Of course. Your instructor's going to be able to read it. Don't worry. Are there any particular parts of the paper that you're more concerned about?
I want to make sure that it all sounds natural
Okay.
when my instructor reads it.
Okay. Well, for a first draft, your instructor is less concerned with whether or not it sounds natural, whether or not all of the commas are in the right place, than he or she is with whether or not it's well organized, whether or not your argument makes sense, whether you have a clear thesis. Have you talked about theses in your class? Theses?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, all right. Whether you have a clear thesis and whether all of your paragraphs support that thesis. That's really what's important with a first draft. That's what your teacher is looking for. So let's focus on that, and if we find grammar problems that make it hard to understand, we'll work on those.
Okay. Because
Okay.
it does need to sound natural.
Well, okay, by the time you turn in the final draft, we'll have you sounding natural. Okay, tell you what. All right, now we talked about organization, and that's going to help your reader understand. We did find here just right now, though, a grammar issue that makes it hard for people to understand your meaning. Okay, do me a favor, just read this sentence. The second sentence of your first paragraph.
Study about drugs such as Sonata, Lunesta, and Rosarum developed cancer on mice and rats after given high doses of those drugs.
Okay, so the study got cancer and had to go to the hospital?
No.
Okay, no, of course not. So take a look here. Find me the verb in this sentence.
Developed.
Yes, exactly. And what developed? What's the subject?
Subject comes first. Study.
Study developed what? What's the object?
Cancer.
Yes, study developed cancer. There's the problem, see? You're really, so what in reality, what really developed the cancer?
What they did was they did a study on mice and rats, and they gave them the drugs, and then the mice developed cancer.
There you go, exactly. So how can you fix this sentence so that the subject and the verb work together better?
Mice developed cancer in a study on Sonata, Lunesta, and Rosarum.
Yeah, there you go. Write that down.
Okay.
All right, so here's what you're going to work on. Remember, you're going to add more details to your argument. We're going to get a clearer thesis,
Yes.
and I want you to strengthen your conclusion.
Yes.
Okay, and remember that it's better to have your ideas and your arguments set first, and then you can work on the details, like punctuation and grammar.
And then my instructor will be able to read it?
Oh yes, we just read it. I understood what you were saying. Your instructor will too. But that's not the most important thing. I mean, the writing is perfectly understandable. It's clear, okay? We need to make sure that the organization is good and that the argument is good. Then later, we can work on the grammar.
So it is better to have details before the grammar.
Yes, absolutely. Grammar is last.
Okay.
All right?